Hey, what's up everyone? I'm back again today with my Technomancer class, but this time with a very different build from the first one. So, as usual, let's dive right into it. With all your weapons, you're going to want to have Armor Pierce, Status Power, and Skill Life Leech for all attributes. As you can see, I'm missing Skill Life Leech on my pistols, but it's not a big deal if you can't get it. If you can, it does make surviving hits a lot easier and safer with this build. For my main weapon, I'm using the pump action shotgun with the breach variation to give me a faster reload because I'm using the mod grand opening on it, which after reloading, the first shot will create a powerful explosion dealing almost 260,000 damage in a 5-meter radius. So I'm going to want the fastest reload variation possible on it. The second mod I have on it is Fireworks, which could be swapped out for clip combustion, but either mod you have on it will still work really well with this build. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm using shotguns on the Technomancer class that benefits with assault rifles and snipers so much more. Well, there's a little trick you can do with the shotguns and certain mods. If we look at the mods Grand Opening and Fireworks, they can both proc on an enemy that is hit with one single shot. But shotguns don't fire one single bullet, they fire a spread of bullets with one shot, making me able to proc these mods on multiple enemies at the same time with only one shot. It's easy to proc the mod on multiple enemies with the shotguns, by firing from a medium distance, still being able to just barely hit them so the mod will proc, but far enough where your bullet spread is wide enough to hit multiple enemies. Now, for my secondary weapon, it isn't anything special, same 3 attributes with clip combustion and moaning winds on it, mainly to pop off a lot of damage in a short amount of time to anyone that's close enough to me. The pistol is going to be any kind of pistol with the same attributes as my other 2 weapons, Armor Pierce, Status Power, and Skill Life Leech. I wasn't able to get Skill Life Leech on it, but it would be really nice to have. Mods I have on it are Clip Combustion and Moaning Winds, the exact same as our secondary weapon, again just to pop off a lot of damage very quickly. Now, onto the armor. With all armor pieces, I have the same attributes of Anomaly Power, Status Power, and Cooldown Reduction, with the exception of one piece having max health on it. For my helmet, any kind of purple rarity will do with the mods Captain Hunter for increased damage and Toxic Piercer. I'm using Toxic Piercer because Toxic Effectiveness is increased by 100% of my armor piercing bonus, and if we go back to my weapons, they all have armor piercing on them, so no matter what weapon I have in my hand, I'm going to get a 30% bonus on the effectiveness of Toxic. With my chest piece, I have the attribute of max health on it instead of Anomaly Power. The mods I have on it are Hail Shot to increase my Cyro Turret's damage based on my Status Power, and Twins just so I can toss out an additional Cyro Turret to have 2 on the field at all times. My legs, I have the mods Bonus Duration to keep my Cyro Turrets on the field for as long as possible. The second mod is Euthanizer to increase my damage against enemies that are afflicted by Toxic. For the gloves, I have Unstoppable Force, which increases my Anomaly Power by 50% based on my Resistance Pierce, which is going to be important when I get into the skill tree. My other mod is Freezing Boost, just to increase my damage against enemies afflicted with freeze. The Cyro Turrets inflict freeze when they damage an enemy, so it'll be easy to put the status effect on a lot of them since I also have the mod Twins, which allows me to have 2 on the field at once, just doubling the chances of inflicting freeze. Lastly, on my boots, I have increased damage to make the Cyro Turret do more damage and Radical Therapy. I would switch out Radical Therapy for a tier 3 mod Shatter, which is a better choice, or even a tier 2 mod No Resistance Against the Fortified, which would be a bit better as well, but Shatter is the main one you would want. Now, with the skills, I'm using Scrapnel for the damage the skill does, the Anomaly Power boost I get when I activate the skill, and for its almost 10-second cooldown, which is a perfect timer to use for knowing when I have to reactivate my class tree notes. The Cyro Turrets, which are going to be one of my main sources of damage output, since I put mods that will boost its damage, increase its duration, and let me place 2 at once to double its efficiency. The Blighted Turret is very important because it attacks on its own, spreading the Toxic Status effect, which deals damage over time, and every time I throw this skill out, I get an anomaly boost for 10 seconds because of the class tree note. This is why Scrapnel's 10-second cooldown is very helpful, because it reminds me when I have to use both skills, Scrapnel and Blight Deterrent, to get my anomaly power boosts. Now, let's jump into the class tree. I'm using the bottom branch of the tree because it's more focused on anomaly power, which is what we want. So, to start it off, I take a max health increase, then down the tree for anomaly power, resistance pierce, more anomaly power, increased resistance, anomaly power, then down the branch to grab more anomaly power whenever I throw out Blight Deterrent, up the branch to grab more damage to enemies with lower health, back to the middle of the branch grabbing longer lasting toxic effect, anomaly power, both anomaly power and increased toxic damage, resistance pierce, down for the skill life leech, back to the middle for more anomaly power, then up the branch to grab increased armor whenever I use Scrapnel Grenade. Going to the end of the branch, taking reduced damage from elites, more anomaly power, increased toxic damage, and lastly an anomaly power increase whenever Scrapnel Grenade is activated. If we go back to my armor, I have the mod Unstoppable Force, which gives me an anomaly power increase by 50% of my resistance piercing. Seeing that I have 30% resistance pierce, my anomaly power is going to get a 15% increase. Now I'm just going to show you guys a few clips of my build running through a tier 15 pod rescue. If you found the video helpful or entertaining, drop a like or subscribe. If you see something I could add or change up to make the build better, let me know down below in the comment section what you would change or add. That's all for this video. I'll see you all in the next one.
Outrider. There's a storm coming your way.
There's a well.